I think the tone of the film and the tone of the script is the script and the film have moments that skew a little bit more comedic than the types of films that we really set out to emulate. But I think only really because of McConaughey's character, which is a larger-than-life character. We set out to make a movie that was, you know, like a Hal Ashby movie, like Saturday Night Fever, you know, like Shampoo, Saturday Night Fever, Boogie Nights, like the types of films where we thought, hey, that's a great movie, but we had fun, and it's dark, and it's not afraid to pull any punches, but it's a ride, it's entertaining. You know, you want to go to the theater and see it. I mean, I think Mike's at this point in his life where he you know, he really wants to be somebody. He's a good guy, and so he really wants to think of himself as somebody that's capable. Like, he's good looking, you know, women love him. Like, he's charismatic. Like, you know, he's risen to the top of. I mean, he's good with his hands. He's a good builder. Like, I think he thinks of himself as like, look, I've got a lot going for me. But the reality is like he's having a hard time paying his bills, and you know, he's still essentially a 30-year-old male stripper, and he's working part-time construction jobs and stuff like that, and he's working for a guy who is, you know, a kind of sleazy club owner. And I think Mike wants to see himself here, and he thinks of himself as here, but he's really here. So the movie is really his journey of self-realization. Mike's just a guy that, you know, is living paycheck, living hand to mouth, and I think he doesn't fully understand what he is, which is he's 30 years old. You know, he could keep stripping for a while for sure and keep making the type of money that he's making, but unless he's willing to kind of like leave it all behind and really sacrifice that in order to put in the work that it would take to get a real job or you know, get a mortgage that he could actually afford, etc. You know, he's going to have to leave this kind of temporary life that he set up for himself behind and make some really hard choices. I am the biggest Matthew McConaughey fan, and we knew from the beginning that we wanted him to play this part. I mean, Channing brought it up first, and immediately when he said it, I knew it was true, and I wrote it to try to, I mean, I think as I was in the middle of writing when we actually confirmed that he was gonna do it, but I had already started writing it, like imagining him as the character. And it's a really good exercise because I think he's probably the best written character on the page, and I think he's the most extraordinary performance in this movie. I mean, words cannot describe the energy that he brought to this part, and he's perfect, and I think people will remember him for this movie for years to come.